Vaquero Radio is brought to you in part by the Student Union Department. Vaquero Boots and Barbecue returns for the second year in a row as part of Homecoming Week. The event will feature live music from Red, a Taylor Swift tribute band, Eros Garcia Country Band, country line dancing and games, and activities, as well as free food, while supplies last. Vaquero's Boots and Barbecue will take place from 6 to 10 p.m. Wednesday, February 12th at the Quad on the Edinburgh campus. More information is available at utrgv.edu/homecoming.
Good morning, Vaqueros. Today is Monday, February 10th, and it's currently 84 degrees. We're coming to you from our Edinburgh studio. I'm Mariana Galladro.
And I am Alejandro Lopez.
And this is
Vaquero News.
Campus news,
events, games,
and activities
all in one place.
This is Vaquero Radio, the Valley student station.
Monday and Wednesday at 11 a.m.
Vaquero Radio, where your
story begins.
American schools will now be enforced to practice the 2020 Title IX provisions under the Trump administration. Here's Victoria Gonzalez with the details.
On January 31st, the United States Department of Education Office for Civil Rights sent a letter to K-12 schools and higher learning institutions, stating it will enforce the 2020 Title IX regulations. Title IX of the Civil Rights Act was passed by Congress and signed into law by former President Richard Nixon in 1972. As part of the Education Amendments of 1972, the federal law prohibits discrimination based on sex in educational programs that receive federal funding. The law also protects those who experience stalking, interpersonal violence, sexual harassment, sexual assault, and discrimination on the basis of pregnancy. The 1,500-page regulations by the Biden administration were issued by the U.S. Department of Education in 2024, replacing the Trump administration's 2020 Title IX ruling. Highlighted points in Title IX during Trump's first presidency state colleges must allow cross-examination in live hearings and respond to off-campus harassment only in institution-affiliated locations. Stalking, domestic, and dating violence are now included as sexual harassment. It defines sexual harassment as, quote, severe, pervasive, and objectively offensive, end quote. Title IX does not cover misconduct outside the U.S., and multiple informal complaints against one person won't automatically trigger formal action. Colleges must use a 3 official model for Title IX cases, train staff, publish training materials, and allow virtual processes. They must also provide evidence in advance, remove gag orders, and ensure a reasonably prompt complaint process without strict timelines. These regulations went into effect August 14, 2020. But new shifts for Title IX under former President Joseph Biden took effect when he went into office. These guidelines included removing the requirement for live hearings with cross-examination in campus disciplinary procedures for addressing sexual assault cases, redefining sexual harassment as, quote, sufficiently severe or pervasive, end quote, addressing misconduct off-campus or out of the country, and extending protections to pregnant or parenting individuals. The most controversial rule was the clarification of discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity, expanding protections for LGBTQ students and employees. The new rules took effect August 1, 2024, but many Republican states sued the Biden administration over the changes. The rule was halted from taking effect in 26 states from federal courts. The decision came after U.S. District Judge Danny C. Reeves from Kentucky found Biden's expansion protections for LGBTQ+ individuals was unconstitutional and blocks the revisions from taking effect. In addition to this, Trump issued an executive order to recognize only 2 sexes, male and female. The Dear Colleague letter sent to higher education institutions said the U.S. Department of Education and the Office for Civil Rights must enforce Title IX provisions consistent with this order. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton was able to stop Biden's Title IX enforcements from taking place in schools after he sued the U.S. Department of Education last June for issuing what he called unlawful guidance that added sexual orientation and gender identity as protected groups under Title IX. Professor for the UTRGV Department of Philosophy and Director for the Office for Advocacy and Violence Prevention, Cynthia Jones, said the university has been operating under Trump's 2020 Title IX regulations and added its significant impact on students' ability to report and seek services.
One of the very good outcomes of the Trump era Title IX legislation was that it institutionalized what are called supportive measures. And so it makes it clear that faculty mostly can't simply ignore a request from Title IX office who are requesting to assist.
Texas Senate Bill 212 was passed during a 2019 legislative session and stated all employees at a university must report any knowledge of sexual assault, sexual harassment, dating violence, or stalking committed by or against a student or employee. In accordance with the new guidelines of the Trump administration's Title IX, Jones said Texas laws have been getting stricter. She said this is good as it has led to increased reporting and focus that can prevent such situations from occurring. But on the other hand, many people might not want to tell the university what happened to them.
They might just want counseling or advocacy or assistance with supportive measures or something outside, or assistance with rehousing. And mandatory reporting can sometimes take the power away from somebody who's been traumatized.
According to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, out of 1,000 sexual assaults, over 900 perpetrators will walk free. Jones said the Title IX definition of sexual assault includes forcible fondling and rape, but according to the law, sexual assault is not the same thing as rape.
So we have cases where someone grabs somebody else inappropriately, breast or penis or buttocks. It's a part that you would consider private. That counts as a sexual assault under colleges and universities, under Title IX legislation, and K through 12 also, by the way, but not for the law.
Jones said under Title IX, the university can fire employees and suspend or expel students who have performed some type of sexual misconduct. Some will choose to go through the Title IX process and will not pursue criminal charges, but others want to pursue criminal charges but not go through Title IX. But if the perpetrator is not part of the university, she said the institution has no jurisdiction to investigate.
So there's a difference between someone being sexually assaulted by another student and somebody being sexually assaulted by a community member that has nothing to do with university. You can still get lots of help. You can get supportive measures through Title IX, but the university isn't going to investigate anything. If it didn't happen on campus and it wasn't a university person, the campus police don't have jurisdiction. Title IX doesn't have jurisdiction. So the criminal process is really different.
She said she has done 2 Title IX hearings in the last month, and while they occurred over Zoom, it is still traumatizing for victims to retell their story.
But it's less traumatizing when you can do it virtually, remotely through Zoom. You don't have to be in the same room as the person.
Vaquero Radio tried to contact the Office of Title IX and Equal Opportunity and the Counseling Center for an interview, but as of the airing of this report, they had not responded. This is Victoria Gonzalez for Vaquero Radio.
2 organizations on campus aim to promote health and well-being. Here's Celeste Cruz with the story.
And it's just preparing you for post-grad and what's ready and what's ahead of graduation.
Pre-Physical Therapy Society and Exercise Science Club are programs that guide exercise science students by providing hands-on experience. The Pre-PT Society allows members to engage in a community and provides resources. For the Exercise Science Club, its purpose is to promote students to engage in physical activity and maintain a healthy diet. President of Pre-PT Society and Exercise Science Club, Alberto Cantu, said the main goal he has is for both organizations to be recognized by the university and throughout Texas.
For the Pre-Physical Therapy Society, our goals are to be one of the most recognized organizations aligned with the university in the state of Texas and hopefully soon the country. Just try to give this sense of uniformity, becoming the best applicant possible for PT school. And also for the Exercise Science Club, we just want to have a community where we are able to engage in physical activity and have that sense of community.
He highlighted the Pre-PT Society has already received several recognitions.
We've already made several recognizations amongst Texas State, Round Rock, and UTMB, which is University of Texas Medical Branch in Galveston.
He said he is amazed by how the program has grown over time and has built a sense of community.
We've been able to truly grow as a club. I've seen that with so many people that I've met along the way. Every meeting it gets bigger, and that's always something that you want to cherish as a club that came from 3 people not even meeting in person to having 40 people in a single room.
Officer of the Pre-PT Society and Exercise Science Club, Justin Garcia, said the clubs have a lot of support from other people.
We do have a couple of professors and, guest speakers, even therapists, helping us in promoting our club in projecting ourselves to be the best applicants in regards to PT and the best, performing the best lifestyle habits as exercise science members.
The Pre-PT Society volunteers frequently with the Special Inclusivity College Club, where members are able to help children with disabilities. The Pre-PT Society and Exercise Science Club encourages exercise science students to join the organizations to enhance their academic and professional success. Students interested can visit VLink. They can also email prept.utrgv@hotmail.com or message the organization on Instagram at pre_pt_utrgv. This is Celeste Cruz for Vaquero Radio.
The UTRGV Edinburgh Student Branch of Institute of Electrical Engineer and Electronic Engineering provides hands-on experience for future engineers. Here's Celeste Cruz with the story.
And it's all revolving about electrical engineering, which at the end makes you a better electrical engineer.
The Institute of Electrical Engineers and Electronic Engineering advocates for engineering students who look forward to gaining experience by participating in competitions and doing projects. Vice President of IEEE, Axel Rocha, said the club competes in Archive Conference.
We work on robotics competitions, and we compete on robotics competitions with other universities. Basically, a competition where we make our own robot with students, and then we compete with other robots.
He said there are 3 or 4 main competitions available at the Archive Conference.
There's an ethics one where we discuss the pros and cons of certain technologies like AI, what's the benefit of humanity with that. A circuits competition, they gave us a problem, and then based on our knowledge in circuits, we make a solution for that. And then the last one is the robotics competition.
He said the program enhances engineering experience. Member of IEEE, Christopher Hinojosa, mentioned the organization has people from different engineering backgrounds.
We have the most diverse amount of people coming from different backgrounds, such as CS, electrical engineering, computer engineering.
He said the program works with the Perplexity AI. To learn more about IEEE, follow its Instagram at IEEE Edinburgh or visit VLink page. This is Celeste Cruz for Vaquero Radio.
And McLean goes up and throws down a monster dunk. That fires up the UTRGV Fieldhouse.
And now time for Vaquero Sports.
The UTRGV football team shared its upcoming game schedule and revealed the new recruits that will kick off the team's inaugural season. Leonardo Guajardo has the details.
We're excited to get the challenge rolling and get rolling this spring and see how we're going to be.
On Tuesday, the UTRGV Department of Intercollegiate Athletics unveiled the highly anticipated schedule for the Vaqueros' inaugural football season in 2025. Head coach Travis Bush welcomed more than 30 new Vaqueros to the team, marking the second recruiting class in the program's history. The team is set to play a total of 12 games, with 7 taking place at home. The Vaqueros will play their first game against Sul Ross State University August 30th at the Robert and Jeanette Vasquez Stadium in Edinburgh. Conference play will begin September 27th against Southeastern Louisiana University in an away game. Bush addressed the challenges of the upcoming season and the tough schedule ahead.
Definitely going to be a challenging schedule. Southland Conference is a tough conference, and looking at the teams we got at home and on the road, we're going to play the top teams in the conference this year. Some of these teams are very talented. You look at Southeast, looking at Cornet Ward, of course, they've won the conference, and SFA's back in the top. Nichols, McNeese, they're going to be solid, so it's always tough.
The introduction of new players, ranging from freshmen to graduate transfers, has created a significant imbalance in the team's experience. Bush emphasized the importance of integrating upperclassmen to help lead the team to reach its full potential.
We had 90 guys out there this fall, but 75 of them were true freshmen. So we need to, balance out the maturity, the age difference. From 18 to 22 is a big age difference, especially when you're talking about down in the trenches. And emphasis was offensive line and defensive line, but you'll still see some more additions here coming up in the next window to really balance out those top 2 classes before we kick off.
With 4 years of college football experience at UTSA, redshirt junior quarterback Eddie Lee Marburger is one of the new recruits this spring. Bush emphasized the impact Marburger's leadership skills will have on shaping the future of the younger quarterback athletes.
He's played college games, which is different than any other quarterback we have in our room right now. There's no substitute for experience. And being in those games, being in those situations against the caliber of defense, that maturity, that confidence, he's been there. He's experienced things that can help mold these young quarterbacks along the way. So we're excited. We have expectations for him, but he's going to have to come in, learn the system, and then compete with these guys for that job.
The football team consists of over 100 athletes, with more expected to try out and join the team later this spring. This is Leonardo Guajardo for Vaquero Radio.
Newton drops straight back. There's a crossing route. McCaffrey. Touchdown. That's big time.
Good morning. morning, Vaqueros. Here's the sports schedule for this week. The men's basketball team will be hitting the road to compete against Stephen F. Austin today at 6:30 p.m. in Nacogdoches, Texas. The women's basketball team will take on Incarnate Word on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. in the Fieldhouse. The women's tennis team will hit the court to compete against Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Thursday at 10 a.m. in Edinburgh, Texas. The men's tennis team will also take on the court against Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Thursday at 1:30 p.m. in Edinburgh, Texas. The men's baseball team will play their first spring game against Southern Illinois on Friday at 6:30 p.m. in the UTRGV Baseball Stadium. Don't forget to bring your student ID to all UTRGV games for free admission and support our student athletes by showing up. This is Leonardo Guajardo for Vaquero Radio.
And now for this week's events calendar.
What's up, Vaqueros? Let's check out all the fun events that are happening this week. The UREG will host a Zumba session at 5:30 p.m. today at the University Recreation Center. Get ready to show off your best moves in an exciting Zumba session. Another exciting event that you don't want to miss this week is Vaqueros Boots and Barbecue, hosted by the UTRGV Student Union at 6 p.m. Wednesday at the Edinburgh Student Union, with live music from Red, a Taylor Swift tribute band, and students are encouraged to wear their favorite boots and enjoy free food and fun activities. And finishing strong this week, the student activities will host the Homecoming Burning of the Letters Spring 2025 at 8:30 p.m. on Thursday at the Fieldhouse parking lot E16 Southside. That is the events calendar for this week, Vaqueros. Don't forget to bring your student ID to all UTRGV events. This is Jan Trejo for Vaquero Radio.
And now, for this week's campus weather report.
Hello, Vaqueros. Here is the weather forecast for this week. Today there will be early cloudy skies, then partly cloudy in the afternoon, and a slight chance of rain shower, with a high of 84 degrees and a low of 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Tuesday will have sunshine and clouds mixed, a high of 87 degrees and a low of 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Wednesday will have a mix of clouds and sunshine, high near 80 degrees and a low of 51 degrees Fahrenheit. Thursday will have mostly cloudy skies, with a high of 66 and a low of 55 degrees. And on Friday there will also be mostly cloudy skies, with a high of 78 degrees and a low of 65 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the weather forecast for this week, Vaqueros. This is Celeste Cruz for Vaquero Radio.
That is the newscast for this week.
Remember to read our news articles every week on our website, utrgvradio.com.
Tune into Vaquero Radio through our website or download the Radio Garden app to listen wherever you are and enjoy the best DJ shows around campus. Remember to check out our YouTube channel for the latest news from UTRGV and the Valley.
Our weekly newscast will also broadcast at 11 a.m. every Wednesday.
Join us next week, same time, same place.
Only on Vaquero Radio, the Valley student station.
Thanks for tuning in, Vaqueros. Be sure to saddle up at 11 a.m. every Monday and Wednesday for another newscast.
And as always,
V's up!